Greetings! We are back once more with Rise to Ruins, the how-to series. So, at this point we have the basics of landfill. We need to sort that out. We have some farms. I would, of course, as you know, like to upgrade to another farm. So we're going to go get rid of that and make sure we have enough food going in. Because while your defences are progressing at this stage, you want to future-proof your supplies. Which actually is a little harder said than done. Because you want to have it, make sure you have at least, give or take, between 3 and 4 pieces of food per person per day. Now, like, winter's only 5 days, if I remember correctly. So you only really need, you know, basics, 20 food per person. But that's already starting to build up a lot. So yes, you want a minimum 3 food per person per day. And see how it goes. Now you've got plenty of time to build up to. There we have 96 currently in storage. I'd like to at least get 150, 200 to make sure. But there you are. You want to make sure you are constantly pumping out food. You have somewhere to store it. Like right now we don't really have 2 places to store our food. We'd like to get some more out, as you can see. And I'd also probably like to get another farmer up and running. Now getting to the stage where food is flowing significantly. And we need to make sure that carries on going. Again, you want to make sure you're upgrading everything. You want to be helping out your people as and when you can. If you have floating resources you are not using, I highly recommend finding a use for them. Oops. I definitely highly recommend finding that use. Especially mana. If you're not using too much mana in the way of defences and so on, you've got loads spare. I've got like 700 stored mana. It's not much, but it should be enough for a night. Because I can't really do much else with it. I'd recommend using your grab to help out. Just to make sure you get a defensive wall up and running. Now, right now the enemy is significantly spreading. It will start destroying the forest to our right. So we're going to start needing defences down there to make sure they do not do that. It's not too much of an issue right now, and that's fine. If you're playing Nightmare, you've probably already been having some major issues. We don't need too many defences, but we need to keep on upgrading and expanding. Which is very, very important. We need this to go up, and so they have to path over to here. So we're going to be grabbing mana as much as we can to start dealing with that. What are you doing? I need to stop them from going outside the base to grab things like they're doing currently. Give me that. Again, always make sure you know where the radiance pools are before you can destroy them so you can grab mana and actually actively help out with the building process without scaring your people. They're very, very scared, cowardly little buggers that they are. You grab that, that. Okay, the further along it goes, the longer it takes for the enemy to path towards us. And of course, the longer it takes to build, the longer it takes your people to do other things. So it's highly recommended to help them out, or have them path onto other stuff. Like I'd recommend, that's gold. I'd highly recommend not having your entire workforce building walls if you need to get a farm up and running. That's more resources. Okay, that's not 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I think that's trying to path through the wall. What are these two doing? There we go. That's also why I have defences, as you can see. It distracts the enemy. They actively go to engage the defences and it pulls them away from areas where they might otherwise try to destroy. Simple stuff, just make sure it's going on. The enemy will not actively attack the lights, but they do count as buildings. So if you want to, you can build lights within your walls themselves, so you still have influence within the walls. As you can see here, no influence in the middle. Yeah, I deleted this and built a light there. I'd have access to probably the area around it and also the outside. Quite useful. Probably should have built a bigger one. There we go, both. Yep, 2 of 2. 2 of 2. 2 of 2, there we go. What are you doing? Where are you pathing? Stop pathing out. Another issue you want to make sure is your troops don't path out. Like right now, he's trying to grab raw resources and I think also scrap. He right now is a major liability and I hope he dies. You may have alternative theories about whether they should or should not die, but there you are. As you can see, the defences are actually lasting longer, the enemies having to path longer, which means it's going to take even longer for them to actually hit me. But I do have a few extra defences I kind of don't want where they are, so I'm going to start moving things around. At this stage, you'll want to start min-maxing. For those who don't know, min-maxing is where you want to minimise loss, maximise your area. So I'm going to start making sure that I'm maximising all my defences into the ideal position. Like that one at the back, not really useful at this moment in time, but it might be if a blood moon happens. So I might be taking a risk there to get rid of it, just so I can do other things, but we'll see. This makeshift burner needs to be done, but we need some of that. So if you don't have your manufacturing up and running now, this is the stage where you want to get it going. We need stone. So I'm going to delete this, it's in the way. Actually, yeah, it's in the way. Don't want that at the back anymore. You have mana constantly pouring out, so we're low on the mana, so we need to upgrade these, but to do that, we need to get some cut stone. So cut stone is now high on the agenda. So if you don't have manufacturing by now, I highly recommend getting cut stone and immediately getting the cryolithium. Because you will to start producing your own mana for the more powerful magic buildings, and also to obviously carry on powering up your essence collectors. So as soon as you can, get the stone cutter up and running, which is, yeah, that's fine, that can be put to there. Which I'm going to do. Again, you don't have to build exactly the same way I have done. I've built it in this way because I'm insane. And obviously these towers down here will need to be moved at some point, but there you are. As you can see, I've still got vision down here until the walls start clearing up. Another tower up and running, be perfect. There we are. We're going to get the stone cuttery down. We're going to prioritise that to the top because we need stone for a lot of things. And then we're going to start getting our crystallary down. Not immediately. I'm still not too needing of the more advanced machine systems. You know, like the actual elemental towers and stuff. Because right now the attacks are still pretty weak. You'll be needing the elemental bolt tower at the stage where you start seeing spectres. Right now we don't have skeletons attacking us, we don't have elementals attacking us, so they have no ranged attacks currently. So we are fine with basic bow towers and phantom dart towers. But remember, skeletons do not take much damage from bow towers because they're skeletons. So if you want to, I'd recommend getting either a... what's it called? A bullet tower. I always forget the name of the other one. If a bullet tower for good damage and rapid fire, or a spray tower for really bad damage but extremely fast fire. Although the bullet tower and the spray tower are designed for continuous fire against the faster moving things like headless and slimes. Stuff you don't want to waste all your munitions on. Okay, I'm going to have to drop a... Okay, let me drop a holy golem here. Let's go grab some more mana. So I do recommend destroying these radius pools eventually. They do steal your mana. Obviously right now I need it more than my buildings do. So I can use it to actually power up my buildings and also power up my spells, but I do recommend trying to get rid of as many as you can by getting your influence upon them. There you go, golem tower, killing them all. Golem tower, golem, killing them all. Where's he going? Ah, still in the wall. So the wall's still priority. Okay, let's prioritise this. Get some arrows up and running. There we are. More of the wall goes up. So when they start pathing out of here, they may switch targets. So we'll just need to make sure that's not the case. More bow towers are running. As you can see, they're prioritising any stone they've got for the walls, that's the top. And any spare resources to take it to somewhere else. It just means they're running slowly out of stone. Well, there seems there's about 30 left. Oh well. So we're going to maintain 30 of these. I'll put someone in there, prioritise. So when someone becomes available, they'll go in. Right now, we need all of our buildings to do stuff. Also, honestly, I need to upgrade this. This requires wood. Let's upgrade that. We need more storage for a massive, massive, massive amount of rubbish because my people are horrible, horrible slobs. Again, I'd recommend getting the burn up and running as and when you can. I'm going to be aiming towards that. I need to get rid of this to get my farm up and running. That is being destroyed. Where's Banish? Okay, banishing everything here so we don't lose the farm. There we go. That's what happens when you run out of mana. Actually, let's drop a mana dissolve here to power up my defences. I can get more defences from over here by destroying the corpses. There we are. Because right now my defences are based around these two. And obviously this has not yet been completed. There we go. So power is pouring into those. It's being immediately sent to my towers. There we go. It's a simple case of I wasn't powering up my storage well enough. There we go. Look at that. I'm going to go grab some more power while they're still fighting. Drop another golem as soon as I can get the chance. So always make sure that you do have golems, you have your grab tool. You can grab the enemy, remember that. You don't have to summon the powerful things. You can just grab and move problem enemies. The higher the level the enemy, the more damage and obviously health he has. So just, if you see like something's not dying fast, just grab and move him away. He may lose his path into your village. He may not come back. He may still stay there until next time. However, again, you can't drop him in the middle of nowhere and he can't reach you. He will just destroy his way through. Like if I dropped him here, he would slowly make his way through the forest by destroying it. It would take a long time, but he would still come back. There we are. These are powered up. Let's power these up. Nabbit, I'm out of power again. But yeah, you need some defences along your wall. Right now, obviously, I have defences, but they're a little bit further back. There was one over here I destroyed. There's one over here defending the rear, just in case. And this one would be useful, but our troops haven't yet sealed off the wall. So there you go. But yeah, don't have your farms anywhere near the front line. I, of course, will be expanding this front line. But you do want your farms to be somewhere. Again, this is how I build. I build weird. There we go. Small slime. So nothing too major the first couple of seasons. We're still in spring. Summer is, of course, around the bend. We're getting more resources stored. I'd like to upgrade this. I'd highly recommend upgrading your storage buildings as much as possible so that you don't run out of space. Running out of space on food or water, if you're going for full water. Corrupted large fire pit. Ugh. It would be quite major, especially if you're not prepared for winter. Winter will kill you. I keep saying that, but winter is a major one. This is getting insane. They're really expanding. Look at that, it's almost touching my walls. Okay, that tower's going to be equipped soon. Where are my two Fletchers? See, there's a slime randomly over here. Dang, it's so close. But yeah, make sure you have a surplus of munitions as well if you're using a lot of munitions, and make sure it's somewhere near the front line, but not too close. You don't want your people to be scared, but you do want your people to be able to arm the towers. Which is why you do want to start building the curtain walls a lot more, so you can build stuff behind it so that your people don't get hit by weaponry, they don't get scared by seeing things. There we go. As you can see, now the defences are up and running, this wall is steadily becoming more sealed. The enemy is barely even touching me. That's what you're after. There we are. And again, upgrade as many of the things as you can once you're happy where their current position is. Because obviously destroying a fully upgraded tower is a lot of resources lost because you only get half back. So once your position is perfect, build and upgrade significantly. What is that? Huh. Oh yes, that's why. Couldn't build on it because someone was pathing. There was a dog. It's a wild dog over there. I'm going to go grab that. My dog. So dogs can join your village. They don't do much. They grab resources and move resources around, but they're dogs. And for them to live somewhere, you need to build a doghouse, which again takes up a building slot, and only dogs can live in it. So there we go. Day 5. Some will arrive in 3 days. Oh, interesting. Ignore my bit about the 5 days then. Looks like it's been upped to 8. So that means you need a larger supply of food. But yeah, always make sure you have plentiful supplies. Let's up you primarily. I don't really care too much about the landfill. We need to start getting rid of people, so let's drop a farmer. Oh, actually, no, drop a lumberjack, get the farmer. How's our water doing? Uselessly, okay. Get rid of a boyer. There we are. Got 1 crystal, got 1 person making cut stone. Actually, let's put 2 people into that because we need a lot more people, and then we can start working on the more important things in life. So the way to win the game is to have a village in every single map. Now, of course, you want to actually have an area you are comfortable with to expand your people. This village, of course, we'll be using to build up and expand to other areas. But once you leave a map, it doesn't do anything. It just exists. So you won't get attacked, you won't grow new people, you won't get new resources. So once you leave, you've left. But you can, of course, come back and restart time. So don't be afraid to have multiple villages at once, because they're not all running at once. I'm you. I saw that. 40 there. There we go. 2 defensive towers down here. Established towers. That will require boards and crylithium. Still not got the crylithium. A shame. A shame indeed. Dobby the doggo. Destroy all of this stuff. Ancient Radiance Pool. We're not going to build that thing. We don't need it. Let's get more houses. Like that. Water purifier. I'd like to upgrade with boards and wood. That's fine. Again, once you're happy with where things are, upgrade them. Upgrade them like crazy. How much boards have we got? Plenty of boards. Upgrade this as well. More space. Boy, I'd like to upgrade as well. But again, don't do too many upgrades at once. It will spread your people out thin, and your resources may be all over the place as opposed to the areas you most need. The wall's now done. That means I have to push over to here. It's a temporary wall. Again, only build what you need. Okay, landfill's gone. Food storage is a bit better. Get another farmer. Get another one. So I always go for about 4 farms at the very least. I'd recommend getting more than that, but I always go for 4 at the very least. And obviously upgrade them as much as you can so you can have more food growing at any one time. You can also help them out by grabbing the food. That's always an option. Never think you can't grab the food. Yeah, got too many things happening. Okay, we're going to unpause this. I need the burner to be active, honestly. It grants me essence and also destroy this huge amount of trash we have everywhere. Okay, we're destroying one of the phantom dart towers. It's a shame, but it's in the way of where my farms want to be. Again, if you're not really weird about your placement, you don't have to do this. You just leave towers defending your entire base. However, I'm quite insane and need it to look a certain way. Okay, food's being taken out of there. That's good. Next to the houses. Good to have food storage near your houses so I can actually get food faster. That's gone. Get the farm down. What you will want to do is get a kitchen up and running. A kitchen prepares rations from the food, and it basically, they're much more useful. Your people like them, they give you a lot more food and they last longer. So you do want to actually have a kitchen up and running for rations. You don't need it early on, but of course you are looking towards getting that for winter. So you've got plenty of time to prepare for the kitchen. I also recommend obviously getting a well at some point if you're really struggling. A well slowly draws water continuously. It's very slow, but it does draw water continuously, even without people and without rain. Let's upgrade the ancillary as well while I'm at it. Each upgrade of the ancillary, as I've said, gives more buildings. The more buildings we have, the more defences we can have down south. Which we're probably going to need. Yeah. Start to devour the actual forest now. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have a few issues down south. We need more defences, that's fine. I'd like to upgrade these. I'd like to have more of them, so we're going to build a few more as well. I recommend having at least 4 or 6 to start with. Makeshift energy collectors. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. Like I said, they're a bit hard to upgrade, but they don't require too much to upgrade. It's just, obviously, you won't be having access to the Chrylithium this early on. There you go, as you can see, everything is being built all over. One new person has become an adult, another person has had a kid. Perfect. Your people can grow old and become pensioners, which means they are effectively useless. It's up to you if you want to kill them off or give them a nice end of the life. Once the burner is up and running, that's perfect. Let's help them out, actually. If we can get the burner running, I will start getting more essence. Right now we have an essence deficit, as you know. So get up your burner and your landfill as soon as you possibly can. If you really want to make it a bit more useful, you can of course get the QB golems, but they require Chrylithium. You can also process them. I'd only recommend really doing that if you're really low on resources and have spare people. Of course, right now you should be having plenty of resources flowing around the base. But again, if you need the resources, get the processor. I should get a couple of trash cans out. Okay. But yeah, obviously we need QB golems to make trashy cubes, which you could use for the things. Right now, of course, it's going to stick with the age-old landfill and burner combination. We don't really need the trash cubes just yet, and again, we don't have access to them because of Chrylithium. Chrylithium will be your biggest block at this point in time. You can, of course, go for it now. Like, we can easily build it now we have the stone cuttery up and running. But I don't want to go for Chrylithium just yet. I want to make sure all of my buildings are being upgraded significantly. But I think, yeah, now I've got to a good stage. Looks like everything is going fine. We're going to build a Chrylithium or a crystallary up top. I'd recommend getting it out. Yeah, I'd say recommend getting it out even now. Or say 10 minutes after you've got up your stone cuttery. You can put them up at the same time, but because it requires a lot of cut stone, it will impact heavily into your building of other buildings. Like, it's important for the more advanced buildings, but you want to make sure you actually have your initial economy ongoing. As you can see from all the upgrades, a lot of our buildings are still in the process of being built. And that's one of the issues you will fall into if you start trying to go for all your resources for the more advanced stuff. Do not stretch yourself too thin. There we go. Anyway, I have been the FallenShogun. This has been... Where's he going? Where's he going? Ah. Gonna get this up and running. The Crystallia will be up and running. Then we can start having some actual more powerful buildings and upgrades, and maybe even golems. Golems are a priority. Once you get the chance, get golems out. They are renewable, disposable soldiers. Either way, I've been the Fallen Shogun. It's been another part of the how-to series. Look at that. Evil. Chows. Fanels. What are you? Key? Suspicious key. Oh. Useful resources. Iron ingots. Stone. Wow, that's what we were after earlier. Chows for nows, people. That would have been useful. For when we were trying to build... Oh, quite lithium. We can build golems. Bye-bye, golems.